Dear students, I hope all of you have started, almost completed the preparation for the OCD examination, and this is to clarify some of the doubts some of you have asked for. One is about the various approaches to change and OD. So in the note I have given, you will find 4 approaches. One is working on the system, cultivating consciousness, creating alternative, working in the system. First one is working on the system, second one is cultivating consciousness, next one is working in the system, fourth one is creating alternatives. Okay, that can be one approach that you can write, in which you should understand what is this these 4 approaches is all about. First one, working on the system, means the change agent is not part of the system. Okay, if you are trying to change an organization, the change agent who is going to drive the OD process is from an outsider. So the thing is, he does not have any emotional entanglements with the organization, and he can objectively look at the problems and issues of the organization, and he can come up with a genuine solution to the problem. So his emotional involvement to the organization and other biases, prejudices, etc. is not there. So his observation and diagnosis and everything will be objective. So that is advantage, but it has got some disadvantages. If he is part of the organization, he has got a social capital and an emotional capital to drive the OD process. Social capital means you have a lot of people who will support you. You have already established a lot of good relationship with the people. So those supports you may not get. As an outsider, when you try to implement a change in an organization, you can imagine you will face a lot of problems. So it has got an advantage and a disadvantage. Second one is cultivating consciousness. Cultivating consciousness means you create a strong awareness among the people regarding the need of the change, the benefit of the change, what is the personal advantage they are going to have about the change. So it is more about managing benefits. Okay, you are going to execute a change. If we execute the change in an organization wise, these are the benefits, these are the advantages. From the department wise, these are the advantages, and as an individual, these are the benefits that you are going to get. So people become conscious of the need of the change, etc. Then you effectively and powerfully communicate these things to the people in the organization, educate them, train them to take up the change, and you manage, counter the resistance that come. You may have to do some personal counseling, at the same time monitoring the change. Okay, so these are the things that comes when you cultivate consciousness among the members of the organization where you want to execute the change. Third one is working in the system. Okay, here the change agent is part of the organization. He is inside the system. So he knows the system properly. He know the people there. He know the problems of the organization properly. So you can influence, use the influence, your influence, and use the social capital of the organization for the benefit of change execution. So whatever we said about working on the system, where the consultant, the change agent is outside the organization, is trying to execute a change in the organization. So all the advantages of working on the system becomes disadvantage in working in the system. All the disadvantages we have said about working on the system becomes advantage for working in the system. Last one, creating alternatives. Okay, means you are running in a particular way. You are running your organization in a particular direction. Now it is and you are not reaching the place where you actually want to reach. So you have set up a higher destination to reach, higher level of performance, higher level of financial benefits, higher level of employee satisfaction, and you are running your organization in a particular manner, but you are not satisfied with it. So you have a different level of expectation about so many things. Now you identify various alternatives. If you want to reach your expected destination, these are the options in front of you. Okay, so if your organization, if we want to move to that level, these are our alternatives, and these are our OD interventions. These alternatives are our plans to achieve these objectives. Okay, so these are the basically 4 approaches of organizational change. Okay, working on the system, one, which means the change agent, the driver of the change is outside. He is a consultant, he is an activist, he is not he has convinced the management that this is not the way the organization should work, and he has promised his service to enhance the performance of organization. So a person who is outside the organization is trying to execute a change in an organization, that is working on the system, cultivating consciousness. You mobilize, or you establish a lot of relationship in the organization, communicate to them that we have to undergo a change, and you will convince them about the benefits, educate them, train them to accept this change, counsel them, manage the resistance, monitor the change. That is cultivating consciousness. And the third one is the opposite of the first one, working in the system, where you become part of the organization, and you utilize all the advantage that you have because you are part of the system, and transform the organization. Okay, almost opposite to that of working on the system. And the last one, creating alternatives. You make people aware that where we are, where we actually want to reach, and what are the options in front of us. Okay, and if you all feel that we have to go to any of these alternatives to achieve our dream, let us work together and execute that change. Okay, so these are the 4 approaches, and many other books are giving as different approaches. Kurt Levin's model as one of the approaches that unfreeze, change and refreeze, driving force and restraining force. Okay, so that is one example of one approach is that. And another approach is McKinsey's 7S model, that also we have learned. 7S model, 7S, your organization want to change, and the change area will be any one of these 7S: strategy, system, staff, style, like that. 7S we have learned. Okay, just look at McKinsey's 7S model. That is one approach. Another one is again familiar one, called Kotter's 8-step model of change, that I don't have to explain. We have explained several times. Kotter's 8 stages of change. That is another approach you can explain. Third one is fifth one is ADKAR model. ADKAR. A stands for awareness, D stands for desire, K stands for knowledge, A stands for ability, and R stands for reinforcement. Okay, ADKAR model, it is an abbreviation. A stands for awareness. You create awareness among the people where we are, what is the disadvantageous position we are in, convince them we are in a disadvantageous position, then create a desire in the members of the organization to improve, to transform the organization. Next one is knowledge. Give them information and knowledge required to execute the change. Okay. Then ability. You know, the organization systems should become able to accommodate the change. If it requires technical changes, do that. If you need more training for the manpower, do that. Okay, if you want a change in the strategy, do that. Your systems should be able to accommodate the desired change. Okay, so enhance the ability. Third one is reinforcement. Okay, any small achievements, any positive changes should be encouraged and appreciated, and the positive outcome should be reinforced. That means it should be made the system in the organization. The new system should be established, or it should become the style of the organization. So you create awareness, create a desire in people, give them knowledge about the new change, make your systems able to provide ability to the organizational systems to accommodate the change. Last one is reinforce the change by reward, by institutionalizing, by making it a system in the organization. You reinforce the change. So 4 approaches. First one, 4 approaches to change. What is given in the note, that is working on the system, cultivating the consciousness, working in the system, creating alternatives. Next one is Kurt Levin's 3-step model, McKinsey's 7S model, Kotter's 8-step model. Last one, Atkar. There are many other models too, but at least you learn these 5 approaches to change. Okay, so this is what I have briefly there to tell you about different approaches. Okay, so listen to it, go through that note, refresh the theories, approaches that we have already learned. Okay, well and good. And few more points, I will come with another video. Thank you.